Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Running a ARCA race here for week 1 of season 3 2022. Starting this off with a 1.5 miles here at the Kansas Speedway. Setup feels a bit loose to start, but tightens up pretty quick in my opinion. I think it's honestly for me been right around like 8 to 10 laps into the run it tightens up. So it's kind of an interesting setup this week. Been mostly putting the car on the bottom during my practice runs, but I could see me experimenting with the top in the race if we need to try to get around people. It seems like it's pretty tough to pass, so track position is definitely going to matter. I feel like maybe more than it normally does at 1.5 miles. So I'm going to try to put the best qualifying effort I can in here for myself. Still not going to be anywhere near what the top guys are running, but I'm going to try to do what I can. First laps is just a throwaway. Kind of get the tires warmed up. I run low. 1 and 2 just to get the tires warmed up, and then bring it up to the wall in 3 and 4 to get the run. Try to make lap 1 or lap 2 as good as I possibly can. 31.551, at least we got the time in, because I may not get lap 2 in, so let's see what we can do. We're car number 14, or in 14th right now. Car number 17 out of, I believe, 24 in the race. So I believe it's a top split, just a little bit weaker than some other top splits. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get lap 2 done, but we're going to try, because the unfortunate thing is lap 2 is definitely going to be faster than lap 1.
That's the end of the session.
Not quite
14th.
there. Should have started a little bit sooner, but that's my bad. Probably would have picked up, you know, I don't know, 1/10 and a half or 2/10, so would have been probably somewhere around the top 10-ish, which I guess doesn't make a massive difference, but would have been nice to have qualified a little bit further. That's just my fault for not getting started quick enough, but yeah, you can see I have like no shot at getting to those low 2s of the upper 9s. Those guys are so quick. Somebody else that I expected to be a lot faster behind me did not run. There's a couple cars that easily could be blown by, but tire savings is definitely going to matter. So for the setup, I am running 12-to-1 on the steering ratio instead of 10-to-1. Running -12 instead, I believe, is -4 as the default, and I have the front brake bias up to 65, or back to the rear at 65 instead of 68. I kind of start using the brakes a little bit the last half of the race, getting into turn 1, and it just kind of helps me settle the car a little bit. So get gridded up here, pull up session best lap to start, and yeah, I mean, outside I guess it's viable. I've seen people running kind of either up towards the top, up against the wall, or they've been running down against the white line. I haven't really seen too many cars in the middle of the track at all, but we'll just do what we can off the start. I mean, technically, even with that warm-up lap, or that, you know, throwaway lap, the first lap, it was still out-qualified where I was supposed to, but we'll try to make the most of it. Biggest thing is to keep it clean. Lost a lot of safety rating trying to do a SK Modified Fixed Series race, so trying to get as many clean races in as I can. I mean, I obviously wanted to get those anyways to try to make up, you know, being promoted from B to A and dropping to, you know, 2 point whatever, and not starting off the greatest with the
B14,
the late model in the Rookie Legends race. But
78 Fahrenheit.
just gonna do what I can. Just let the racing gods do what they will. Try to put myself in as best of spots as I can. Hopefully not overdrive the car, get too caught up in racing right off the bat, and burn up tires too fast. And just see where it leaves me at the end. I feel like in some ways I'm faster this week compared to other mountain halves, and in some ways I feel like I'm you know, still off the pace by a good bit, so we'll just see what we can do. And yeah, we got some fast people around me, so I'm sure there's some people that will be able to tire save and move up towards the front with ease, so we'll just see what everybody does, and hope that I can get the ARCA season started off pretty well. For the most part, it actually wasn't all that bad of a season for me in Season 2. Given my standards, so let's see if I can try to make Season 3 better than that. 35 laps, the standard 1.5 miles distance for this series. Got a Rebel car up there. Can only mean bad things if you've raced around any of them. Not even say anything about that guy. And we'll just see where we go. I think this is one that's part of the restart zones, but we'll see.
Let's go.
Off and rolling. See the 6. Started down low, moved up. 7's a little bit slower. People kind of running all over the place.
He's still there.
Wouldn't be surprised if I get a 3 wide call.
He's still there.
Just kind of run it here, top third of the track, and let people go by. There's the 3 wide call.
Still there.
I'll let the 5 go. He's pretty aggressive to start.
Coming up low side.
We got the 16 underneath. Don't want to get loose underneath people and keep it off of the wall. There's a wreck behind. 21 goes slamming into the wall. Looks like everybody else keeps it clean. I got the 9 to my left.
Still there. 16 to my
16 to my left.
Stay high.
9 is also to the left. 16 washes up in front of us. Trying to go down. I know I kind of cut right in front of the 15. He gets a little loose off the corner, but trying to get underneath the 16. Just start following the 9 through. Not the best start, but like I said, I knew a lot of people would be going to the front, and I wanted to take it easy, so kind of sorted out through the mess. And, yeah, we'll see where it leaves us.
Leader's just done a 31.26. Well, that was a 32.19.
Probably stay on the bottom as long as I can, unless I feel like I need to deviate, you know, to get around somebody. Pull away a little bit from 15 to 22. We're in 16th right now. Top 10 is going to be my goal. Be happy with that. Don't think a top 5 is going to happen. Oh, I followed the 16 into the wall like an idiot. Hopefully that didn't damage the right side too bad. Cannot believe I did that. Was ready to take advantage of him doing that, and then I follow him right into the wall. See a lot of people going to the top already.
P16. Clear of mine.
I think we'll work the bottom. We'll get around the 16, no problem. Hopefully the pace is not too far off to that shot. See the 15 working by the 16 on the outside. 16 looks like he might be coming to pit road. Yeah. We'll work the bottom. I don't really see a massive need for it right now, but everybody else down there, so trying to work the throttle to help rotation into one a little bit. Yeah, we'll kind of just line up and see what we can do here. Got a long, long way to go. We're only going to be completing lap 5. We'll still have 30 to go. So plenty of time for people to overheat tires, wear the right fronts out. It's looking like he wants to get a little bit racy here. He starts to push hard, we'll let him by. Can't really see the reason to push too hard. Looks like the 9's kind of falling back. Not sure if that's design tire saving or if he's just a little bit off the pace. So you can see the 7's tucked back to the 10. They've pulled about a second gap over the 9. Thought he was going to get a run on us. Into turn 1, not quite. Although, if he gets a run off at 2, he should have it. So we'll stay low as he's going to be on our outside. 7 goes shooting down the track out of 2. Like I said, I'm just going to let the 15 go. Don't really want to get involved with too much side-by-side racing right now. Alright, we got him clear. We got a big, big gap back to the 3. I'm sure the 3 will be catching us.
P16.
Overshoot turn 1 a little bit there, so I'm not going to try to force it down to the bottom and wear out the right front unnecessarily. Just need to start lifting a little bit sooner. That's kind of that 8 to 10 lap mark that I told you where it feels like it tightens up on me. Just need to be a little bit more conscious of that. A little bit of loose action up ahead. That was just in front of the 7. One car up in the wall there in the middle of 1 and 2. Don't think we'll get to them, but something to make note of in case they're off the pace or looking to come to pit road. Looks like that was the 10 possibly. A couple 2 wide battles up ahead. Like I said, it seems like everybody's either way at the bottom or way at the top. That middle is kind of like a no man's land for this race. Now it seems like a lot of people brought the cars up above the apron on the front stretch.
Gordon is now
Mine's starting to catch back up. I think the more the 7 and the 10 everybody battles, we're going to have issues. We got one car diving out. That was the 18, so it'll be a free spot we weren't expecting. It's back in 15th. 15's catching the 9.
That lap time was 32.53.
She got the 7 battling with the 10. 10's in the wall again in the middle of 1 and 2. This time we should catch him and be able to get by him, so go to his inside. Clear him. So put us into 14th if he doesn't come back on by. Slowly approaching the 1/3 mark. So we're 11 down. 14 to go. Overshoot 1 again a little bit. 10 gets back into the wall, so he's going to fall even further behind, so still gives us a good gap. 3's catching us quite a bit. He's down to 1.1 now. Reasonably, if we don't catch anybody else once he goes by, we'll be 15th. Just one spot off where we started, but I got a feeling there's some people in front that we could potentially catch. Top 10 just might be a bit tougher to do than I was hoping, but we'll see what we can do. Got the benefit of the 10 screwing up, falling back. Just gotta stick to my plan, hope that it works out. Maybe the racing gods will smile on me and give me another free spot or 2. Help us on that quest towards the top 10. Overshot turn 1 a little bit there. Not as bad as some of the laps, but still not great. See how much it kills the run off at turn 2. Just gotta trust that hopefully I'm not beating the right front up as much as some people. Although I think what everybody's doing up high is gonna, you know, they're trying to promote a little bit more of a loose condition by wearing out the right rear.
V14.
So they can have a little more rotation later on.
Keep it up.
9 looks like he might have gotten into the wall a little bit, slowed him down quite a bit. Try to do the same thing, go to the inside that we did on the 10. Not as big of a speed difference there as we have with the 10, so it's going to take a little bit more to clear them. But I'll take that spot. Us into 13th. Pulling away a little bit from the 3, so I'm a bit worried that I might be pushing it a little too hard. Just have to see. 9 was kind of working that middle. I was thinking he was going to try to work to the outside against the wall again, get away from us, or try to pull around us, but he might have gotten a bit gun shy with the wall. 15's working the back of the 7 up ahead. If the 15's able to run that hard, 9 has a big issue off the wall in 4, or down the front stretch out of 4. So that gives us a bigger gap. 3's going to work the outside by him. Until the 3 got into the wall, or if he just checked up. That gives us an almost 2-second lead gap now over the 9 and the 3. So, what I was saying, the 15's able to keep this pace and not fall off, you know, the last 10 laps or so of the race. I will be incredibly impressed. Be very, very impressed. And I will give him a lot of props for being able to do that. But I think for as aggressive as he's running, he'll start falling off. We're in 13th place. About 2 seconds over the 9 and the 3 right now. We're about a 1.5 seconds back from the 7 and the 15. Just trying to work consistent laps right now. Probably be switching the session the last lap relatively soon, as we're almost to lap 20.
Okay, Jake. Halfway home. Fuel's good.
Got a couple cars up ahead. Like I said, it's on the outside realm of a possibility for a top 10. Just gonna have to see what we can do. 7 goes a little higher. 15 dives to the bottom. They're gonna go side by side down the front stretch. You got the 6, and I'm not sure who the other one is. Oh, I clipped the grass a little too much. Gets me a little loose. Cost me a little bit of momentum. 9 and the 3 are engaged in side by side. The longer they can run side by side, the better it is for me. 9's committed to the high side. 3's gone to the bottom to try to get around them. We're slowly catching the 15 and the 7. I think the longer they run side by side, the quicker we'll catch them. Not sure if that's just a product of them running side by side or if it's a product of the tires.
You've just done a 33.03.
See, the 15 tries to do a big slide job. He gets right in front of the 7. 7 cuts underneath them, coming out of 2. So they're going to continue their side-by-side battle. We'll catch up on the 15 as well, since he had that big momentum loss. That also was not going to do his right front any favors. Clip a little bit of the apron. Got a little too early of an entry into 3. So he gets a little wiggly off of 4. 9's now battling with the 24, who's working his way up. And the 3's about 2.5 behind us. I overshoot 1 again. 15's back up top, 7's down low. 15 looks like he's going to try to clear him that time off of turn 2. Completes the pass. Still feel like I'm entering a bit low into 3, a bit too early. Kind of pinching the momentum off from the center of the corner. Switch to session last lap on the back stretch. Just going to keep following behind the 7 and the 15 right now. Just kind of watch these two and see what they're doing. Keep an eye on the gap to the 6. That's my 10th place right there. It's 1.7 right now. And just try to make these laps as consistent as I can without overdriving it. Be working lap 24. We got a big wreck on the front stretch. We're gonna go low. Now we're gonna go high. Got cars everywhere. There's a couple of spots that I did not expect. Well, that was really fortunate. I think that actually should put us in 10th. Momentum loss definitely allowed the 3 to catch up a little bit, but I was playing that as safely as I could to get through that one. Wreck started high and then started coming down the track. Thankfully I had enough time to move up top and avoid that. So that helps us close down a little bit on the 7 and the 15, and yeah, puts us into 10th.
You've just done a 33.65.
Start working just a bit of a great tap to help it rotate into 1. Just gonna focus right now on where the 7's going. Not to enter too early into 3, keep it as smooth as I can. Don't want to slide the car off or lean too much on the right front. Still don't think a top 5 is going to happen unless, again, we get another big gift like that, but... Oh, I dragged the wall. Dumb me. Had a chance to close up even more on the 7 and did something stupid. Also allows them 3 to close up a little bit. We're going to have 9 to go this time by, so getting into the closing quarter of the race. We short-tuned 3 a little bit. A little bit of a better run out of turn 4. Can't tell if the 7 took a shot off the wall or if it just pulled it down off. 2.0 back to the 3. 0.6 up to the 15. And we've lost a little bit of time to the 6. He's 1.8. I think realistically it might just be the 15 and the 7 is all I can try to get before the end of the race. Just need to drive a little bit smarter here. A little bit easier that time for 3 and 4. See if the 7 catches back up to the back of the 15 and gets into another side-by-side battle, or if they're going to just keep running nose to tail. He's not really making too much progress on us yet, so I guess that's a good thing. Helps me protect 10th place. Making a bit of a run. We're keeping pace with the 6. We're slowly catching the 7 and the 15. It's going to be tough to make the pass because they're going to get a lot of momentum off of the corners. But I think if I keep working them, we should eventually be able to hold even with them. And if they try to catch onto my low line and go down low, I could try to bump up high to get by them if needed. Down all the way a little bit from 3 this time,
Okay,
so
lap times are pretty consistent.
trying to run as consistent laps as I can,
P10.
as well as keep trying to work my way towards the back of the 7 and the 15. Had a little bit of a worse lap that time, lost a little bit of time out of 2. See, it really was, like I said, 1 and 2 was the one that killed me in that lap. Got 20, who's a slower car, up ahead. See if he ends up coming into play before the end of the race. We've got just 4 to go, or 5 to go, excuse me. Losing a little bit of time to the 7, he's closing back up to the 15. We've been keeping pretty even with the 15. So not sure if the 15 and the 7 will get engaged in a side-by-side again. If they go side-by-side, that could allow me to close up, but 3 wide would be pretty tough. 20 is just going to be everywhere, so it's going to force both of these 2 to go to the bottom. Thankfully, I should be able to get a bit of a run, although the 20 is going to kind of hurt it.
On your right.
I'm just going to work to the inside of the 20 for now.
Keep it steady, still there.
A bit of a run on the 7, so we're going to dive to the inside. Not sure if I'll be able to clear them, but we're going to try.
Still there.
15's on the outside. 7's just ahead of us. We're going to have to take a little bit of a lower entry into 1. 15 does the same thing, but I expect the 15 to slide up the corner.
That sideline's clear. I'm on right side.
7 got into the wall, so that helped me big time.
Keep it steady.
So now we're even with the 15. Try to clear him going into turn 3. That was what I needed to have happen. Lap car kind of did play a little bit of an effect into it. 1.4 back from the 6, but with just 2 laps to go, I don't think we're going to be able to close up to him.
2 to go.
Biggest goal is just to see if I can hold off the 15 for 8th. I don't think the 7's really going to be much of a factor in this. He's too far back. 3's even further back, so should likely be able to bring it home in 8th place, which I will gladly take. Although, not when I do that. Not when I do that. Just drove it way too hard off of turn 4. Thankfully I had a big enough lead over the 15 that wasn't like he was able to pull right alongside of me. Let's try to be a little bit smarter. Twice I did that, cost myself time. Who knows, maybe I could have been closer to the 6 had I not done that. So, still lessons learned of what not to do. 15 throws it in big time. He's going to lose momentum off of the corner. Keep it off of the wall. And we're going to bring home in 8th place. So, not a particularly clean race on my part. Still got to keep it out of the wall. But, yeah, I guess we executed tire saving a little bit better than some of the cars around us. Able to pick up just a couple spots on speed. And, yeah, we got the benefit of definitely a wreck there that was really not of our doing at all. Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't our doing, but it was big fortunate because those were some cars that were way, way faster we should have never gotten by. So, racing gods definitely looked favorably on me that race. So we'll chat down and we'll take a look at both the tires, and I want to go through the incidents and see those wrecks. So, 7183, not horrific. Certainly, like I said, I pushed it, pretty hard there at the last few laps. So, didn't help the right front out, and then trying to work to the inside of both the 7 and the 15 was going to kind of pinch the right front and load it up a little bit more. So might have been a little bit better off had I been in a little more of a single file and able to maintain the line I had been taking. But for me, that's not a terrible tire saving at all. So let's take a look at what happened with those wrecks. Flipped over the far chase. So yeah, let's actually I kind of want to watch the start. So the 5 was really, really fast. He was one of them that was involved in that wreck. So you can see 7 kind of got a bit of a bad start. 16 was on the inside. 9 goes throwing it way to the inside. 5 throws it to the inside. I just bailed out and let those 2 go. There was no reason to go 3 wide that early. You're going to see the 9 take it 3 wide, I think, going into turn 3. Yeah, he dives to the inside of the 16. The 16 was pretty slow, but and then we had our 3 wide, but at that point I wasn't lifting and killing the momentum. I lifted just enough to try to keep the car in balance, but I was also trying to give the 16 as much room as I possibly could. And I think the 15's, yeah, the 15's going to be working up ahead, so you can see some people already went to the high side. That was when the 16 washed up, so I was going to try to cut underneath them. Pretty aggressive to cut in front of the 15 like that, but the 15 had been doing that whole slide job thing. Yeah, I didn't know he was doing that for the whole race, but I learned that he was doing that for the whole race, so I didn't feel quite so bad because he probably wasn't going to make the corner well. Anyway, so I just wanted to get back to the bottom and get into my line. So yeah, that was a pretty hectic start, but let's start working through the incidents. The 15's going to get the wall out of turn 2, I believe. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a brush. 16 was up ahead of me. He was going to get the wall here pretty big time, so that allowed me to close up a little bit. 10's going to drag the wall. Yeah, it's kind of part of running that outside line. 23, center, so you see the 3 working underneath them. 22 gets the wall going into 1. 12's going to drag the wall. It sounded more like a net code, if anything. I didn't really see anything there. Same thing with that one, that might have been a net code. Nope, he's going to get the wall this time. There he goes, so the 13's going to dive underneath him. 10's going to get the wall again, running up high. Yep. And then sometimes it's like glue and you get stuck to it. 16 continuing to drag the wall. You're going to see a lot of wall drags, I think. 22's going to go get it. 16, I'm not even worried about. 20, I want to see what happened to the wreck. 20 bounces off the wall. 4's going to drag the wall. 10's going to drag the wall again. Follows the 3 up. Red Bull car's going to drag the wall in 1. Yep. Just in front of the 1. 9's going to drag it. 16, we're not worried about. 16's in the wall. 1's going to drag the wall all the way around. 14, or 24, excuse me. It's going to get the wall. 4 is going to get the wall. He kind of slowed down and avoided it. 24 is going to get the wall again. Pretty good shot there. Right in front of the 10. You see the 10 do the same thing. I don't even know how many we're going to see. 22 smacks are coming out of 1. Alright, so let's rewind and look and see what happened on this one. This did not cause a wreck, but this is finally non-wall contact. So 8's going to try to pull a slide job and just washes up in front of the 11. I'm going to put that a little more on the 8 than the 11. He wasn't quite clear enough, so a little bit of contact there. 23, 12. 8 just comes up the track and kind of makes right side contact with the 12. I don't know, I mean the 12 cut down a little bit, but that really wasn't on him. Oh look, our Bull car was involved in that wreck. Alright. So let's look at this. The 11 is trying to run. You got the 5 on the inside. 1 checks up a little bit to avoid the 2, so the 11 gets a run because the 1 checked up, so the 11 is going to try to look to the inside. And I want to see what the 5 did here, because this is where it's going to get interesting. I think the 5 might have come up a little bit more. He's like working his way out of the corner. This is coming out of turn number 4. Okay, so it was actually a bit of netcode. Like he was coming up and probably would have been clear. Because it looked like he was kind of I mean, he was still coming up, so he probably would have made contact with the 11. And the 11 was trying to get the run, although obviously all 3 cars, the 1 really wasn't doing anything wrong at this point. He's held himself on the high side. The 11 and the 5 are trying to shoot for the same spot, basically. So you get netcode that starts it, which turns the 5 across the 11, but not really across the 11. And unfortunately, he gets into the door of the 1, and that kind of upsets the 11. And then 11's kind of able to hold it. The 1's able to hold it, and the 5 still trying to catch it, gets back into the right side of the 11, which sends him in the wall, and also gets into the left rear of the 1, which sends the 1 across the track. And this is the point where I saw the wreck. So I saw them all going up here, so I was getting ready to go low. And then you can see the extra contact between the 1 and the 11 on the wall. Because the 1's going to go sliding. Then he comes up, and this extra shot right here is going to send him down the track and sends the 11 down the track. So the 6 barely avoided that one. I think that was the 6. Like, oh baby, that was close. Like, oh wow, like so close to getting into the 1. We'll get back because I think I'm coming up behind this. We'll look at it from the chase view. It's not going to look as bad from here as it did in the car, but like I see him going down, so like I had planned to go low, and then as soon as they went down, then I went up. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then let's take a look at I want to see the lap with the lap cars. All right, be right here. So you got the 20, who really has no clue where to go because the 15 and the 7 have been running high. So I probably should have gone low, but normally you go high. It was kind of weird. So like he stacks up. He's really not actually involved in this anymore, but because the 7 got a bad run off of 2 by on the low side, I tried to cut underneath the 7 as soon as he was clear of the 20, wanted to go back to his high side. So I felt like that was going to be the better move for us. And you can see those 2 get a run, which naturally on the outside they're going to have the momentum to get the run. So I was not anywhere near it. They're going to go side by side again into 1, and that's where the 7 got the wall. So that slowed him down, which allowed me to get underneath him. And then the 15 did his normal wash up, which I kind of expected, so I was able to cut underneath him. And then was able to get in front of him. So that was that worked out about as well as I possibly could hope it would. So let's take a look at the results. Hopefully, should be a pretty positive gain. Safety rating should go up a little bit. That's practice event. Sorry, not sure why that did not show up. We'll give it 1 second. If not, I will jump to the website quickly. Pull that out. So let's see if there we go. All right. This looks a lot better. All right, so top splits, 6, 30, 67, a little bit weaker than some ARCA races I ran, but not terrible. We were still a lower number card in it. Able to gain 0.1 or 0.21 on the safety rating, so it's 1.66 is really, really low, but just got to keep doing races like that, and it'll right itself and get it back to where it was. Able to gain a little bit of I rating, 46, so there was quite a few cars that were closer to me that them finishing the 13, the 14, the 12, them finishing up, they're really kind of hampered a little bit of the I rating that I was going to gain. But you can see I just never was fast enough, but I was also tangled up in that battle. Everybody was going crazy, and I was kind of backing it off. So leader had a 31.211. You had some sixes and fives, a lot more, right around the 5 to 6 range. So I was definitely off the pace, but the tire saving felt like it was definitely helping. Finished about just under a second off the 6. If I would have kept it out of the wall those couple times, I probably would have been within a couple tenths of the 6. I don't know if I would have had enough to get by them, but we probably would have been within a couple tenths. So overall pretty happy with that one. It was a pretty good ARCA race. Like I said, it definitely you got a lone high line that you can run, but if you're close on tires, it can definitely be pretty tough to pass. So it's kind of a little bit different than some of the mile and a halfs, but it's still a lot of the similarities of the mile and a half. So um, hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Feel free to leave any feedback of the wreck that we looked at between the 1, the 5, and the 11, as well as, if you got any tips for my driving or anything you took away from it. Love to hear from you guys. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.